Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I normally upload a new video every week, but since it's December and it is the holidays, I have made it my goal to upload a new video every single day until at least Christmas. So if you haven't already, now is a great time to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay on top of all of those new videos. So I'm back at it with another Starbucks at home video since we are still in a pandemic. Like, we're not going out to coffee shops, we're not going out to restaurants, things like that. So I've been doing sort of like almost like a little series on how to make Starbucks drinks with what you have in your house. So today I'm gonna do the gingerbread latte, which even if we weren't in a pandemic, you can't get this at Starbucks because they discontinued it for whatever reason. I love gingerbread, so I'm really looking forward to trying this. So Starbucks recently put out like their own recipe for a gingerbread latte at home, and it includes like a whole like how to make the syrup, where you're gonna like simmer it over a pan and everything. And I think like if you do want like a stock of this syrup, like if you want to make like a gingerbread latte every day, then definitely follow their recipe and you could do all the saucepan and the simmering and everything like that. Since I'm just trying to make a single serving just for me, I just want it today. Tomorrow I'll move on to something else. I'm just gonna like kind of do my own take on it and make it just a little bit easier and simpler to do just for like one singular drink. So I'm not going to be simmering and everything. I'm just going to do the best with what I can do here. That being said, I am sort of basing my recipe off of theirs, except for in a single serve version. So the first thing we need is brown sugar. I have just some basic brown sugar. They call for granulated sugar, and you could definitely use that if you want, but I don't like my drinks too sweet. I always find Starbucks drinks too sweet when I actually go there and order drinks. So I'm just gonna be using this little like Truvia packet, especially because there's brown sugar already. That will be good for me, but if you like it a little sweeter, feel free to take out your big thing of sugar like I did with the brown sugar. Calls for some water. I have some hot water on hand. Molasses, I have some leftover. Ground ginger, ground cinnamon, and vanilla. So these are all the things that we're going to use to sort of like recreate our syrup. But then to make the actual latte, you of course need some sort of milk. I always use this one from Costco. It's a vanilla almond milk. And then you'll need, of course, some coffee. And I have this mocha pot. It's like a stovetop coffee maker, so it makes coffee pretty similar to espresso, but not exactly espresso. If you don't have anything to make espresso and you just have like a French press or like a Keurig machine, I would say just make your coffee as concentrated as you can, because we don't need to use a whole lot of it. We just want it really strong so it can hold its own next to that milk. And then we're gonna top it with some nutmeg and whipped cream. The whipped cream was obviously optional. If you don't want whipped cream, you totally can skip that. But I have this plant-based whipped topping from Whole Foods. I've never tried this brand, but I've tried like this kind of idea where it's sort of like a Cool Whip vibe. And I thought it would be weird to put on coffee till I saw another YouTuber do it. And then I tried it and it was excellent. So I'm gonna be topping my gingerbread latte with that. So first let's get into like recreating the syrup, and I'm gonna do it right in my cup just so I don't have like a second like dish to wash, I guess. So first I'm just gonna put that Truvia in there because there's nothing to like measure out. It's just like a packet. So I'll just dump that right in. And I'm gonna do a tablespoon of our brown sugar. So I'll just put that in the cup. I packed it a little too hard, so it's I'll crush that up. Wow, see, for me, this looks like a lot of sugar. That's the fun part, in my opinion, about making this at home is we can do it however we want. So if you like sweet, you know, add extra. If you don't like sweet, add a little less. Like, we just really can get what we want this way and not pay $5 for a drink and then you're like, oh, too sweet, or like, oh, this isn't sweet enough. You know, like you could really customize it to what you like and it costs way less. So I'm just gonna scoop out some ginger. This is 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm just gonna do like a little extra, a little more than that, because I love the flavor of ginger. It calls in the recipe for a little less cinnamon than ginger, so I think I'm just gonna do an even 1/4 teaspoon right in there. I'll give it a little stir to combine those dry ingredients. Ooh, it smells so good already. But see, the thing for me is the molasses. Like, if you try to recreate the flavor of gingerbread without the molasses, it's just not gonna work, because that like dark flavor of the molasses is really like what does it for me. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add in our warm water. So I'm gonna add like a little bit of this and sort of turn it into a paste, so it'll combine with the vanilla and the molasses a little better. And here's what we're looking at. And I'm just gonna coat my spoon with water before I dunk it into the molasses, because then the molasses won't really stick to the spoon. I'm gonna be kind of generous with the molasses. I'm gonna do like 2 heaping spoonfuls, I think, just because I love it. And this is really the only time of year I have anything with molasses. And I kind of like to swirl it like this too. Like whenever I have like sauces or anything like thick, I like to kind of swirl it so it'll combine better. Like if you do it up the sides of the cup and it's not just like pooled in the bottom, it's more likely to melt nicely into the drink, I feel like. Oh, it definitely smells like gingerbread. I think that's good for now. Okay, so I have my kind of espresso-like coffee in here, and we really don't need a whole lot. So I'm gonna pour like up to there about. So this is all of our coffee and our sort of syrup that we made. And I'm just gonna give it like the best mix I can. All right, now we wanna top it with our steamed milk. If you don't have a milk frother, you can do this over your stove. You can heat your milk, or you can do it carefully in the microwave. Lattes generally don't tend to have like a ton of foam. I do like a little foam for my latte though, so I frothed it up with some foam. Hopefully it will translate that way. We just wanna pour it right in. Look at that foam. I'm gonna steam like a little bit more because I want it a little closer to the top. Wow, I can't believe the foam. It's so beautiful. So we're just gonna pour it in. Wow, this is almost like cappuccino level foam. Look at that. Wow, that is gorgeous. I'm so happy with this foam. I can't even believe it. So if you didn't want to add the whipped cream, you would just top it with your nutmeg now. But I still, even though I have that gorgeous foam, I still do want a little bit of whipped cream. So I'm gonna open up this guy and just scoop a little bit and plop it on the top. You know, Starbucks has that beautiful like swirl going, but I can't really get that with this. So we're just making do with what we have. This doesn't really look that pretty because the foam sort of overtook the whipped cream, but it is what it is. And I'm just gonna top it with my nutmeg. And voila, it is ready to enjoy. Okay, let's see how it is. I have so much foam, I got nothing from that sip because all I got was foam. Oh my God. I think this is my favorite drink I've made here on my channel yet. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. This is amazing. You know, the foam was a bit much, but it's pretty and it tastes good. I'm just gonna stir in that whipped cream a little bit just so it's a little less thick and I can get more of the actual drink. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite drink I've made on my channel so far. And it's the one that Starbucks doesn't even have anymore. It's perfect. It's so good. I love this. I'm so happy with this. It literally tastes like the gingerbread latte that I had at Starbucks years ago. And it was so easy to make because we didn't even do the extra simmering and all that. Like, we literally just made it in our cup. The molasses is so good. That's literally the key. Like, I think this is even better than the one I had when I worked at Starbucks. Like, I honestly prefer this because that molasses, you really can't recreate that in like a light clear syrup. You really can't replicate like that like dark flavor you get from molasses. And that's like the essential of a gingerbread cookie. This is amazing. And I will say, this might be too much ginger for your average person. Me, a ginger fiend, loves it. I feel it. You know, those spices, you can like feel them like warm you from the inside out. And like when it comes to ginger, I could just go nuts. Like, I could have even put probably more. But I will say, if you're not really that into just ginger, I'd maybe like adjust that ratio a little and make the amount of cinnamon and the amount of ginger like a little closer to equal. I would still say put more ginger than cinnamon because it's gingerbread and that's the flavor profile we're looking for. But at the same time, you could totally, again, adjust it to exactly what it is that you like. So good. Starbucks baristas are very accommodating, don't get me wrong. I mean, you could pretty much ask for your drink like any kind of way you want, you know, like they'll always accommodate a special request, but there are things you can't really do. Like when you ask for less pumps of syrup, it's like, yeah, that'll be less sweet, but it'll also have less of the flavor of the syrup. If you want like a really full gingerbread flavor in your coffee, but you don't want it too sweet, honestly, the solution is to make it at home because you can add more ginger, add more cinnamon, add more sugar if you want, add more vanilla, really whatever you want to do. But at Starbucks, it's one syrup. Like the gingerbread syrup is that flavor and that sweetness, so you can't separate it. You know what I mean? So for a spicier gingerbread latte, you can add more ginger, add more cinnamon. For a sweeter gingerbread latte, you could add less ginger, maybe more cinnamon, more vanilla, more brown sugar. But wow, this is perfect for me. This is by far my favorite one I've made at home as far as coffee drinks. But I hope you guys enjoyed my little tutorial on how to make a Starbucks gingerbread latte from the comfort of your own home with no syrups and with just what your average person has in their house at any given time, especially around the holidays, that molasses and everything. But I hope you and your families are staying safe and healthy. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season and a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.